How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? I hope you guys had a great week. We're back, as we always are. Thursdays, 11 a.m. Eastern, right here. Let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me and everything like that. Derek, what's up? What's up? Thank you for being here, brother. Let me know if we're looking good, sounding good, all that sort of stuff. I have a very interesting, I feel like every live stream is kind of interesting, but I have a very interesting one today. I'm happy to kind of like share some of the things that I've got going on because I've honestly been working harder than I have in recent memory in the last like week, more so in the last week, but really in the last kind of like month, but specifically last week here, on this project with a couple of partners of mine, and yeah, I'm excited about it. I think it's a cool idea. I want to share it with you guys, maybe give you guys some insights into like something that you can build, some new tools that you could layer into your stuff that you're doing. It's not. I will say this right off the bat. Important note: this is not completely WordPress based. It is also not like some sort of like software development project, so to speak. I am not. I have not decided that I'm going to become a software developer. I'm not utilizing like Claude or ChatGPT to build a SaaS from scratch. I specifically, when I was doing research for titles and thumbnails, I specifically wrote in this thing that this is a no code solution because that's where I live most of the time, is kind of like right on that middle ground of like knowing what code is, knowing how to do certain things, but not being a full software developer, and also not being a complete like lay person that doesn't know how to integrate tools and things. I feel like the integration, like integrating and connections, like those are that is where I live. So that's what we're gonna be utilizing here a little bit. Derek, we're hearing you. I hear you. Awesome, awesome. Jackson, appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Good to see you, my man. Did I get a haircut? Yes, I got a haircut yesterday. I hope it's good. I go to a barber as of the last like year and a half, and I actually get kind of like a fade here. I don't know. It looks decent, I guess. I don't know. I struggle with that, truthfully. Like I like longer hair, but I also really hate it when it gets long on the sides. So I go like once a month, and I don't know. I'm always looking for how to improve my hairstyle, I guess. But yes, I did. Manolis, what's up? What's up? Thank you for being here. And Derek said, my ACF CPT stuff is coming along nicely. Sweet. We will have to revisit that when you have all that wrapped up, Derek. I'm excited to hear your progress there. Yeah, so I kind of just want to dive into this. I don't know how long it's going to go. Maybe an hour, maybe two, depending on how long you guys are interested in hearing about this and how much stuff I have to cover. I could make this video 17 hours with what I'm going to show you here because I uncovered something that not new. It's not new, but it's new to me, and it's vast. I mean, it's unbelievably vast. I would like to make some more content specifically on the product that I'm going to show you, the platform that I'm going to show you, because I think it's specifically for the people that watch my videos, the client portal videos in particular. Unbelievable. Like, I mean, it's gonna be a game changer. It's called Sweet Dash, not to be confused with Sure Dash, because I haven't had a chance to dive into Sure Dash as much yet. But I'll tell you the whole story, and we'll get into it, and it's gonna be great. So yeah. All right, so let me share my screen here, and I will kind of give you the kind of the concept. I'll start with the kind of the landing page, the concept of what we're doing here, the backstory and everything like that, and then I'll show you the technology. So let me also say that real quick. Is about a month ago, I had a business partner of mine, like a buddy that I've known for a while, that has heavily in the clothing space. Okay, and his name is Sean. So Sean came to me, and kind of we'd worked a little bit in the past with different stuff and all that sort of stuff, like websites and things like that. Very creative. Sean is very creative. Also, I'm gonna preface this. I'm gonna say like some names, and I'm gonna say the people, because this is really important. Because this is part of my learning experience, and I like to learn, try and share everything that I do. I'm gonna literally tell you not just the technical stuff, not just the business stuff, but also the like way in which that the things that I'm learning about literally working with people. Okay, the only experience that I have working with a team is like in this type of environment is when I worked at a real estate agency for 3 years, and I was the like marketing. At one point I was like the marketing director or whatever, but like I worked my way up like kind of through a small marketing department, and was just like working with the individuals in that team, and then ultimately like the CEO, COO types in that company. So I have never really built a team like that. I've never been a part of a team other than in that case, and and that's been like I don't know what it's been like now, 4 years since then. I've kind of just been like on my own, like kind of like, collaborating here and there with people. But I've literally forgotten what it's like. Not that I've forgotten how to interact with people, obviously, but forgotten what it's like to work with people. So I just want you to keep that in mind as I'm going to 100% talk about things that are in that I've learned and have like rushed back just in the last, again, week or so. And I think they're extremely valuable lessons that a lot of times I don't think people talk about because it's in the minutia and I'm a fucking nuanced guy. So that's what we do here. All right. So Sean approaches me about like a month ago or whatever. We have some mutual connections. We have some things that we're working on. Sean is super into like clothing, like bulk, like clothing manufacturing. That's what these guys, this kind of like, we'll call it like this group of people that are, that I'm kind of like associating with here, are. They like have very creative, much more creative than I am, design heavy. That's kind of where it comes from. And it's always taken form kind of in the realm of clothing. So we're talking like, past businesses and past like dealings that Sean and his associates have had is like somebody comes to them and they're like, hey, I want to start a brand. I want to start some sort of merchandise thing, or I want to start just a clothing brand in general. I have no idea how to do that. I just know that people have that. How do we do it? And Sean's experience for the last multiple years, I want to say like 5 or more, has been okay, person with a brand idea. Awesome. Here's what we're going to do for you. We're going to talk to you about the designs you want. We'll design the things like literally in I'm not talking I'm talking like in a meeting room, like in like a conference room, sketching up designs. I don't know if you guys have ever done this. Okay. I don't know if you've ever made the mistake of building a website like in front of your client. I mean, there's ways to do it properly, but I'm saying like if you've ever like sat with your client and been like, okay, we're going to do this, this, and this, and like you're building it like live with them, kind of like how we do on these live streams, but with a client, it can be sketchy. Like, I mean, like you might get to the point where you just hate your life because there's like different things like, oh, can we change this? Can we change that or whatever? But what my point I'm making the connection there is Sean will do that with clothing designs and stuff like that, like logo designs and all that sort of stuff. So he's done that. So he's very adept at designing quickly, designing well, and designing to fit the client's needs. And then also the next part of that step is you design the clothing, you design the logos, whatever. And then you go and you're like, okay, well, now we need to actually make this, right? Now, there's a period in that history where like they're actually making physical stuff, screen printing and all that. There's also a part of that where when you get to a certain level of types of clothing that you're making, you're going to have to send it to somebody to make it. Like potentially if we're in America here, like overseas to China for them to make it, if it's like more custom and all that sort of stuff. So that's kind of the backstory there. Now we fast forward to here, and the idea of bulk ordering merchandise for your clothing brand or whatever is an option. It's more expensive up front. It could be kind of shitty depending on like how much you have to go back and forth with the manufacturers and stuff like that. Obviously you're gonna have to pay more if you're having somebody handle that for you. So Sean approached me with an idea that I thought was right off the bat, I thought was pretty interesting at least. I didn't really know how to like bring it to life and like actually make it more of a technical process. But the idea that he had was, why don't we do that similar thing, but we do it instead of with it's not like a completely novel idea, but the specifics and the connections and everything like that I saw pretty promising. He came to me and he's like, hey, why don't we create something like a service where when these people come to us, instead of us designing everything and then sending it out overseas or whatever and then getting it back instead of all that, why don't we do more of like a drop shipped approach, like something that's like made to order type deal. Now, the first question you have right there, if you have any amount of experience in that, is, wait a second, that traditionally, from everything that I've seen personally, because I did this years ago, I did this like 3 or 4 years ago. I was like, oh, we want merchandise for our podcast or our Fueled by Progress or whatever, these different brands that I had, and I was like, I just want shit. I want shirts with my logo on them. How do I get that? You type in like shirt design or whatever, and you're going to see like Teespring, you're going to see Printful, you're going to see Printify, all these print on demand places. You go through that process, you get that stuff on there. It's like, it's cool. You have a shirt with your logo on it, but then you put it in the washer a couple times and it's gone. The logo is literally just disappears. I have shirts that are just black shirts now because the logo's gone. And not only that, the quality of the shirt is something you get off of the rack at Walmart. So That's not what we were going to do. That was not what Sean's ideas was. He found a drop shipping company, which I'll show you, that is way better. Like the quality is way higher, the actual service is higher, and the prices are still reasonable. So it's not a printful. It's like a printful, but better, the quality and everything like that. And that's what you actually need if you wanted to create this merch management type of situation. Okay. So we got to that point. And I was like, that's intriguing. How would we do that? We had a couple of conversations with him and the other guys and everything like that on like how we would do it. Very quickly, we went from the idea of, okay, we could do this as a service and all this sort of stuff. And there's also other parts of it. Obviously, I'm talking to you guys because it's specifically like the technology. Like his other idea was to create like the website for them, right? So somebody comes to you and they're like, okay, I want merchandise. I want to be able to sell it. Okay, we can solve both of those. We'll get you the merchandise and we'll get you the website to sell it on. Sean and again that team of people there are they're not well versed in WordPress, obviously, because WordPress is, I don't know, just as we know, like can be, it's not the thing. If you're a random average person that you like are design oriented, you're probably not going to be like sold on WordPress, right? So this is again a really good thing that we've talked about for many I don't want to say many years, but many live streams here at this point, right? Is okay, if I was a design person, real world, not just like the stuff that we speculate here in WordPress land, like where would they go? Well, Sean has been, as an example of somebody that's in the creative field, he has been marketed over the past years or whatever to use Wix and Squarespace. So what am I like looking at right now, and what am I dealing with? I'm looking at a Wix website for like the main website that we had there, and I'm looking at the way that he has started this offer and kind of like piloted a little bit. He's making Squarespace websites for the individual people. I don't know if you guys remember, I told you a week or two ago at this point, I was on a call with Squarespace Enterprise. It was related to this because it was kind of interesting to see like what they have going on. I would like to make more content for Squarespace. If they pay me, I may show you guys the Squarespace Enterprise thing because it is way more interesting than I originally thought it was going to be. It is not WordPress, but it's way more impressive. It makes more sense than I thought it was going to. It seems like it actually has like a good set of features and things like that. And we may end up using it. I don't know. But I want to try to stay on track, and I do want to show you guys some stuff obviously here. But I'm trying to set the scene, okay? So we have this merch management type of thing where these people need merchandise, they need a website, okay? So that's effectively the offer. I will show you the exact offers here, but the offer is you need merch and you need a way to sell it. Just pay us. We will set that merch up for you. We'll design the stuff. We'll do all these different like deliverables there, and we will have a website for you to sell it on, and then we'll just deliver you the percentage of the profits that you get with the plan. Seems like a good idea on paper, okay? This is very early. We have piloted with some people, and we're trying to kind of like launch it moving forward. I'm not selling you guys on this. I don't think you're the right audience for this, but I do want your opinions on what we have so far and just the offer in general and anything like that because I enjoy the feedback. So that's kind of where we're at. Now, I'm going to switch over and I'm going to talk to you about kind of the three kind of things that we could talk about. I'm trying to think if there's a good example for the website piece that I could show you. I've tried to mess with Squarespace, and obviously it's kind of a nightmare when you're used to like bricks or something like that. From the building side, I haven't handled too much of that yet. I'm wondering if there's a good example though of a live website that we could explain. Maybe I'll think of one. Let me see if there's let me just see if I can get one off the top of my head. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but basically they're simple Squarespace websites, basically just a shop page and able to purchase off there. So we'll talk about that in a second. Let me go to the chat real quick and then we'll share the screen. Lex, what's up? Derek, did I say Sweet Dash? Be careful legally. Adam might not like something dash. I've never heard of it. I'm not creating Sweet Dash. Sweet Dash has been around for a while. It's SUITE. I will show you. So that is not my problem, but I appreciate you looking out for that. Hell to the no. Specifically about what? I've built a website in front of a oh yeah, are we talking about that? Yeah, that's a terrible idea. Have you heard of Dude Perfect on YouTube? They have quite a merchandise brand. They're killing it. I've heard of Dude Perfect. Didn't see the merch. I will look into that. I leave the job to our designers. Yeah, 100%. Okay, so let's fly over here. All right. So here's what we got. I'm actually gonna, let's see if I can do something different here. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so this is what we got. Okay, I'll explain this to you. If you want to go look at it, it's get.chimera.mx. If you want to look at it, here's the situation. I'm going to tell you the whole story. Okay, the whole story is this was piloted. Sean started piloting this and everything like that. He put it in, like he used what he knew. So he used Wix, and it was like just basically a nice ad. Again, the thing that's really cool that I've never had the fucking amazingness to it, like the amazing opportunity to be a part of. I've never had a situation where I have other people that I can ask or leverage or whatever that actually know how to make things look good. Um, Obviously, good is subjective, but I'm saying like there's an ad currently running that if you go to this website, we don't have like retargeting, I don't think, or anything going on, but there's an ad that if you're like interested in, clothing design or something like that, I'm not exactly sure. I didn't dive into the ad side of it yet. That's mainly Sean. Like there is a ad running right now on Meta, and it's like a video, and it's a really cool video that I don't have on me right now, but it's a really cool video of like like 3D generated stuff and all this sort of stuff. And it's like if you have a clothing brand but you want to sell it, like basically the pitch that I was telling you in the earlier, here, go here and click on that. Now right now that literally just goes to a Wix form on the website that is Chimera, right? So now again, like going there, and like there was a lot of things that like I kind of needed to bring into this kind of thing so far, and one of them was the fact that like if you're gonna use an ad and you're gonna click on it, like yeah, you could just do like I guess the quick form thing on Meta or whatever, but if you're gonna send somebody to a website, you might as well make it a fucking sales landing page to some degree, right? And originally that wasn't the case. Currently with that ad, we haven't turned this on yet, but right now the current ad just goes to a form, which is fine. We'll talk again. I'm talking about business, sales, like all sorts of stuff here. If you're gonna make an ad and you're gonna do that, it doesn't, like I've never clicked on an ad and just went to a form and filled it out. Like, yeah, maybe, but like you should probably give them more information, especially if your ad is only a video or an image or something like that. They don't. The feedback that we've gotten so far is we've gotten like 200 submissions or whatever from that people have actually filled that out, but they don't know enough information because we haven't given them enough information. So that was the first thing we needed to realize, is that we need to actually sell these people on what's kind of going on. I also want to put in a note here that when Sean came to me, I don't think he originally thought we were going to like make it into like a SaaS. And obviously this isn't like a SaaS. We're not building anything like custom, but we're intertwining and connecting these pieces of software together to make it pretty cool and make it very SaaS-like, where it's kind of like we're kind of removed from it a little bit, and we have processes in place and all sorts of stuff to make it like kind of cool, kind of interesting. And again, I'm going to show you that. So we didn't have this at first. It was just a form on a Wix website, and now we have this page that Sean kind of designed, and like I kind of went back and forth. And obviously this is built in WordPress. This is built with frames and automatic CSS. I'm not a designer. Sean's a pretty good designer offline. He's pretty decent online, but this is what we got so far. I'm open to design feedback and things like that, but this is version number 1. Chimera is the name of the brand. Merch management, still buying in, merch in bulk. Why? Stuff like this. No inventory needed. Start now. That'll slide you down to the bottom. Just a one pager right now. Okay. So the concept is choose your plan, upload your designs, approve your website, and start selling. Sean has worked with like a lot of like high level people from his connections and stuff like that. So you may know some of these like artists, athletes, stuff like that. These are some example garment options. I do want to point this out because I was talking about Printful earlier. You're not going to find this type of shit on Printful. I'm not like a big streetwear type person, but like this is like, you could tell this is heavier quality and things like that. And these are just examples. So, it's just kind of where we're at right now. And then, so this is the thing, is this is kind of the offer here. It's like you choose your plan. So there's 3 plans, very typical, I feel like, for SaaS stuff. And there's starter, standard, enterprise right now. Obviously, we started this with kind of the idea of just standard, and then we layered in like a lower plan, and we layered in a higher plan. Again, most of this stuff is people are on these plans to a certain degree, but they're really like, we're in the pioneer phase. So I'm telling you this as like, oh, I'm not saying, oh, we made $1.5 million last week on this. No, I'm telling you that like this is early, and I'm showing you this shit because I want to document kind of where we're at right now. And if you guys have any ideas, I'm open to hearing them. So remember that. So for the starter plan, it's like you get access to the portal, which we're going to talk about. That's the Suite Dash component. You submit your completed website designs. You set up a template. We set up a templated e-commerce site for you. We create and add product mock-ups to your store, up to 2 per month. We handle all production and shipping. You receive 15% of the revenue generated from your store, and we pay out your earnings bi-weekly. Down in standard, it's similar in a way. The big difference is that you can upload any brand assets you have. We provide professional artwork. This is, again, there's so many concerns that I have as I read through like the different things and the offers that we've kind of created. Like, I feel like you can make your best judgment on how these things are going to go, but you really don't know until you actually have real data. This is why, and I'm going to interject a gold nugget here. If you remember, throw a gold nugget in the chat. I'm going to interject a gold nugget here, and I'm going to say that one of the things that I've learned so far, just in the last like month or few weeks of like working with a team again and things like that and working on this, is that everyone has different ideas and all the ideas are valid, but it's like you can only really go with like one idea for any given specific thing that you're doing. And like this isn't an example that actually happened, but as an example, like 72-hour design turnaround, like you don't really know what the answer to that question is. Should you do like one request at a time, or should you 2 requests? Like you have to literally craft these offers and then almost like put them out in the wild and see what happens. And the other gold nugget that I was thinking of was the idea of, I used to listen to all these guys and be like, speed is so fucking important. Like you have to be speed. And I was like, that's bullshit. Just like take your time and do what you need. I'm kind of in the middle now. Like you have to move fast, but the reason you have to move fast is because you need the data. You need the feedback. You need to know if this is actually going to fucking work or not. Like I've worked, and me, Sean, and the other guys, we have worked so hard on this in the last like week to put this all together and to think about all this and put all this stuff. This is just a landing page. You're going to see the fucking behemoth here in a second. But like we've put all this together, using these different tools, researching these different tools, trying different tools. And then it's like, that's why you need to move fast. You don't need to move fast because like we're all going to die, but you don't need to move fast because you need to literally move fast because you just don't know if it's going to work. And it's like, if it doesn't work, it's better to know. If something doesn't work, it's better to know sooner rather than later. I've never heard really people like explain it like that, but that's much more, I think it's much nicer, a much nicer way of putting it, a much more, reasonable way of putting it than I've heard it explained before. So that's just kind of where I'm at with that. So then this is $250 plans. So these are monthly plans. Now we were going to do annually, but we're just not going to convolute it yet with that. But it would be like, you get like a month or 2 free or something. But $250 a month, you get this stuff. Now again, think of it. I don't know if you guys have started merch brands, but think of it as like you're paying $250 a month. So from our end, that's like guaranteed money to do what we need to do and to cover costs. And honestly, like I'm not sure. Again, we don't even know how much time all this stuff is necessarily going to take. We have some preliminary data from things that we've done, but we're not 100% sure. But this is like the only money that we're guaranteed. When they sell, you have to think of like 100% profit. Roughly like 40% of the profit goes to, roughly like 40% of the profit ends up being like pretty much for the whole apparatus of the creation of the stuff, like the actual like software that you need to create the stuff, from the like the fulfillment, the manufacturing, fulfillment, and shipping of those things, right? That's like pretty much 40% of this situation, which is a decent bit for like just those types of costs. Then you have, depending on what we want to do here, like you have like, well, where does the other, like there's other costs obviously involved, like with, payment processing and things. And then ultimately we take our cut and they get 20% of like that piece of it. So for $250 a month, they don't have to design anything. We make the designs. They give us like the assets of like logos if they have anything or whatever, but they don't have to design anything. We design stuff. They get up to 6 products onto their site per month. And they can ask us for design work and stuff like that for this. And then all they have to do is literally sell and promote their website, which also the domain thing, I'm not huge into this, but like for the domain process, the website stuff is kind of secondary right now. It works as is, but that's kind of like my second project, so to speak, because I think that might end up moving to WordPress, because I wanted to talk about this later and we will. But the concept of like utilizing Squarespace or even Squarespace Enterprise for something like this just like makes me want to throw up. So there is probably going to be a world where we move forward with like some sort of like WordPress or WordPress multi-site situation, which I don't have extreme experience with, but I'm much more comfortable obviously in that realm. So I don't know. Maybe that's the way. Every single time I've seen a product like this that is mass website generation, it is like very templated, and it is like the website itself is almost just a whole template, and you just pop people into it. Like the whole system is like that. There's just that's the only way I feel like you can do something at scale like this with websites, unless you're actually custom doing everything. And these prices are obnoxiously fucking low to be doing any sort of level of custom design. I'm constantly reminding the guys, like, we are going to be doing so much fucking work for so little money if we deviate from this. This is exactly why like I was kind of like pushing for this to be like more of a SaaS hands-off type thing, because originally, and even kind of like, in the last couple weeks, it's been like, literally, imagine this. Somebody sees a really cool ad about like, hey, we can do all your merch for you. We'll ship it. We'll make it, everything like that. We'll design it, all that sort of stuff. One fee, da da da. We've gotten 200, 300 submissions through a form for that. And then like Sean will literally call them up. And the amount of like weird like questions and objections and just like that conversation, the amount of time, it's been good data, but the amount of time that is wasted, unbelievable. Like, I just believe that, again, at least in the American economy, like the American scale of money here, $250 a month is pretty fucking low for something of this status. Like, again, this isn't just like this isn't like you're paying like $250 a month for like ClickUp. This is $250 for like actual work being done, like design work, the website stuff, like those types of things. And I mean, obviously you're getting money on the back end from when you're selling things. So I don't know exactly. That's just my current thing. But as you guys know, designing websites gets ridiculous really fast, and I'm trying to make sure that does not happen, because we already have our work cut out for us on the actual artwork design portion of it, which could get just as ridiculous. But websites, I just know from personal experience, it's bad if you let them just like start telling you to do anything or whatever. So on the website side of things, the e-commerce platform side of things, it's got to be tight. It's got to be basically colors, logo switching out, and products. Like, there's not, you know what I mean? Like, we're not building you a full ass e-commerce thing. That's not what this is for. When we get to more of like an enterprise level or something like this, this is not really thought of yet. Truthfully, this is more of a price anchor situation here. Like, when we get to this level, like, maybe we could talk about more customized things when you're paying us like a reasonable amount of money per month, because this does get to more of a reasonable level. But like, again, I just think the scale of this and the way that this is moving, there's just, that's where I'm at right now. From everything that I've ever consumed, everything I've ever seen, I've really enjoyed like trying to think about this stuff and think about like what people would pay, and try to like, now we're going to start here. The reason I'm sharing this with you guys is because we're going to start like actually piloting some of this stuff more with like, clients that are actually showing interest. But yeah, I'm excited for kind of where we're headed to get more data on that. But yeah, so that's kind of the overall offer there. Yeah. And then there's just some FAQs and stuff like that. And then down here, this is sign up now. Now this sign up thing, I want to talk about it because I know you guys care about this type of stuff. This is where it gets weird. And by weird, I mean like you have to think about this stuff. I've never done this, but you have to think about this stuff of like, okay, we have made the decision that we are not going to custom code this shit, right? We're not going to create a full ass SaaS right now. We're trying to get like a minimum viable product, and that minimum viable product is basically a proof of concept to potentially make it into like a full thing one day if necessary. But really, it's like, this is a decent enough idea that we're going to take the time to build landing pages in WordPress. We're going to use this Suite Dash platform to create like this like a client portal and everything like that, and all that sort of stuff. So that's kind of where we're at. The reason I bring this up as we look at this form is because you can tell if you guys, I know you guys can tell, you can tell some weird shit already. Probably if you start looking at this, like, where did this come from? You can tell this weird gradient fucking issue that I can't fix with the CSS right now, because like I wanted this form to be transparent, and I think it's a glitch on their end because like the iframe isn't transparent. This is embedded in here. Don't worry about this fucking thing. It's just because I'm logged in. But this form right here is embedded into this page. It's embedded from Suite Dash, something that you guys probably haven't heard of necessarily just yet. I know some of you have, but yeah. So we're at this point now. I need to kind of go back because there's too many details that like you guys don't know that I need to sprinkle in here. So once we realize that we're going to create this thing, we're going to, put these pieces together and everything like that. It was maybe like literally a week or two ago. I can't even remember because it's all moved so fast. We're like, okay, a week or two ago, we're like, okay, the guys are working the leads and everything like that. I'm kind of doing some consulting, thinking about like the different things that we're doing. Sean and the team is like, they're calling people. We kind of had like a very rudimentary offer, had the ad up, had the form up over on Wix. They're getting submissions in, and they're calling people. They're calling people, all hours of the day, basically, from those leads. And they're starting to do a couple websites from like connections, referrals, or like people that like went through the thing. Immediately, we ran up against and I think this is a constant theme. It's a constant theme in business in general, but it's really a constant theme in like SaaS. I think like any level of SaaS development is you're constantly going to come up against like shit that you did not think of or shit that is going to better your business, but you're not sure of like how to implement it or when to implement it, and it's just like when it happens, you have to think about it. So the first problem that happened, and this is what kind of moved us from thinking the way that it is right there to like like manually doing Squarespace and all that sort of stuff. The first reason that we like thought about talking to Squarespace Enterprise and talking to or thinking about like really a client portal was that Sean and the guys came to me and they're like, hey, we really need to find something that organizes all this stuff better for us. Because imagine, as you guys probably know, I know this as well, even from like a web development perspective, I have the client portal. We have the videos on here, wpclientportal.co that I made, but I never leveraged that in a way where everything goes through there. I actually, even to this day, I don't get as many client like requests and stuff like that over there at Find a Tech, but I still have everything basically through email, right? And sometimes as little as possible through text. Okay, so definitely don't be texting your people. But that's effectively what we started out with here. It's like texting and like whatever, and like that's just it's getting shitty. Like if you have multiple people working on stuff, there's no good way to be getting text messages in and then like have other people that you're working on with. So we really just needed like a project management client portal type system where everything is in everywhere. Everybody has access to it. We can have multiple different people working on websites, working on designs, what have you, and just a lot more organization. So we literally did a search for like client portal, best client portals or whatever. And the first one that I looked at for a little bit, I will shout it out because it was decent, was Clinked. Okay, and Clinked here is seemed pretty good. The thing that I didn't like about Clinked, just at a high level, is I spent about like 4 hours or something, 4 or 6 hours in here. And it's really cool. I mean, it's pretty decent overall, but it's really a client portal, and it doesn't, for some reason, I could be wrong on this, but I didn't see any sort of payment in here at all. Like if you have a client portal, like you really kind of need to have it all in the client portal, you know what I mean? And like you could have the thing that everybody does now because Stripe is really good and all that, like where you go out to Stripe and you manage your shit over there, manage purchases, manage subscriptions or whatever. You could do that. I just don't like that. I think Stripe integrates with shit. There's no reason that we need to like go out to Stripe unless it's like a one-off thing or like very certain circumstances or minimum viable. But it's good, but it's not what I prefer. So I was like, we did this, and like this didn't have the payment in there, and I was like, no, we can't do that. So we had the trial here. We just got rid of that. So this is the one that we ended up going with, and I put this out on X the other day, and Kurt Von Onen from Manana No Mas was like, bro, we've been using this forever. I was like, I didn't fucking know about it. So Sweet Dash all-in-one business software. You guys, if you're interested in client portal shit, you should look at this. It's not WordPress. It's its own SaaS. I'm sure it's probably not open source, so sorry. But if you're interested in like client portal stuff, you probably need to at least look at this. I'm going to show you it. I'm going to give you a demo. This is going to be a free demo for them. They are not sponsoring this, although I did reach out to them, and I was told that my request was forwarded to the CEO. So if you are listening to this, Mr. CEO of Sweet Dash, hit me up because we could definitely do some stuff together because I really have enjoyed learning this product for literally 12 hours the past 4 days, 12 hours each, the last 4 days. I'm not joking. It's been crazy. So, but yeah, Sweet Dash is crazy. There's a lot in here. All right. So, where do we begin? Just at a high level, you can kind of see like a little bit from these things, probably a little small, but I'm gonna show you the full dashboard in here in a second. There's everything. Like there's automated CRM, onboarding processes, client portal, white labeled, digital marketing, appointment scheduling, digital proposals, billing and packages, all this sort of shit. Okay, it's 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 also takes it into account that like it's not like the clients even necessarily know you're using SweetDash. You can change, you can mask the URLs, you can download like a little web app type thing when they go to the website, and they could have like literally as an app basically, and you can control what that is. I know it's not a real app, but you can have it on there. It's pretty dope. Again, like I don't know what to say. It's got file storage in it, payments, subscriptions. I don't know if you guys have heard of this ever. Support ticketing. Oh shit, there's a community. I was gonna look at that. I gotta look at that because I think we were gonna potentially do that type of thing as well. But yeah, it's just really awesome. Now, the one thing I will say about it is it does look a little old-ish. It doesn't have the modern, completely modern feel. It doesn't have 1990 modern feel. It's kind of like I would say like 2010s-ish, somewhere in there. So, it's something, people look at this type of shit. And this is the other thing that I want to say too, is like, when you're not in the technology space heavily, you're not like in the dev world. I'm not saying I am, but I'm like adjacent enough. Like you have to understand that like you have to, if you're not going to build the fucking thing yourself, there are trade-offs. You cannot have it all unless you build it all yourself. I am very, very comfortable with that concept because I don't actually really build like I don't really code that much shit. Like I coded a couple things with Claude and stuff like that, but I understand the fact that yeah, there's certain things that like might not be perfect, and maybe we could send some requests out to the devs and stuff like that. That's why it's important to be nice to the devs and to make friends with the devs, because then maybe they will listen to your shit. Like I have, I've literally provided like qualitative or like QA basically or whatever to several products at this point, because I feel like I understand the use case and I understand a lot of the users, and it doesn't have to be just, again, this is outside of just WordPress. So my point is like I would encourage you, if you're not a developer, to understand how difficult it is to develop this type of shit, and don't be like, oh, this sucks because it's like this, or can we change this, like how do we do this or whatever. Like a lot of these platforms do have a reasonable amount of customization, like SweetDash, but some of them you're just not going to be able to change some of the shit because that you're not the developer, you know what I mean? So it's like you just gotta understand that. Probably not telling you guys anything you don't know, but it's something kind of interesting. This right here is kind of crazy real quick, and then we'll dive into it. SweetDash replaces all the core functionality of all these tools. Like, I mean, I don't know if it's really, like, it probably is kind of all these things, but if you can see these logos, like these are big names of things that that are kind of crazy. Is it, so like the one thing I will say though is, again, trade-offs. Like if you want everything in one place, do you think that the LMS in this thing is going to be as good as Thinkific? I don't know. Okay, I haven't checked them both out, 100%. But like maybe it is, maybe it isn't. There's always these things too of like, do you want to integrate with stuff or do you want it to all be in one place? There's trade-offs with that. Like, is it fantastic that everything's in one place? Maybe. Is it a better user experience for your clients? Probably 100%. Is it best for like risk of your business? Probably not. So I don't know. I'm not giving you guys answers here. I'm giving you stuff and documenting kind of what we're doing, and we can have a conversation about it. As far as real quick, as far as like the sales on this page, pretty impressive. Like they're like saying like this is a really good kind of thing where they're putting in like the monthly costs and everything like that. SweetDash, this is the last thing I'm saying. I don't want to say this too loud, but $99 a month for everything about Chewy is fucking ludicrous. Okay, it's unbelievably cheap. I don't know. I don't understand how I didn't hear about this earlier. Okay, I'm not really the guy that wants the cheapest thing. I mean, yeah, I don't want to spend a lot of money necessarily, but I'm not the guy that's gonna whine about if this is like even $599 a month. It's fucking crazy. $99. It's unbelievable. It's cheaper than the other thing we were looking at, and it does literally 50 times more. I don't understand it. I'm not going to question it. I'm never going to say that again because I don't necessarily want it to go up, but it's just, if I'm pricing a product, I'm thinking about that. I'm like, that's wild. Okay, I should probably go to the chat here real quick because I'm sure I missed a lot. Let me see real quick. Where are we at here? For targeting shop owners, Facebook better than Google Ads. Yeah, that's where we're at currently. Insta ads with DM option. For high conversion, they don't waste time, stay on the Insta app and write if they need your service. Yeah, I like that concept again right now was just like to a form, and then they filled it out. We got a surprising. I feel like at least the conversion for the form was pretty decent. I don't know the numbers right now because I don't have access to them off top, but I think it was pretty good. The trouble is that what I think we're trying to do here is we're trying to make it as hands off as possible for them to buy, right? Like I think we're trying to create it. I think the idea here is to create a situation where I feel these prices are reasonable enough, especially this one, to be like, yeah, I'll just get started. It's a monthly thing. There's no, no, we should probably wait, like no contracts cancel anytime or whatever. Um, but like we're not trying to this isn't a gotcha. This is like $99 a month. We're gonna do this stuff. And if you ever don't want it, then you just turn it off. So I think like at that price point, even kind of at the 250 price point, that it's low enough to the fact that like they are going to I just wanted to try to make a SaaS, like a SaaS where like I don't fucking call up Notion before I buy their shit. Like sometimes maybe if I have a question, like I'll do that for SaaS products, but like if I know enough about the thing or, and I can see enough about the thing, they might have questions and we should probably have another place in here. It's like still not sure, like, schedule a call or, hit us up directly or something like that. But I want to give the option, mainly just for even like when we tell them to go buy it, like if they get off the call or whatever, like we can just send them somewhere and it's like, hey, just buy this thing. Um, but yeah, my point on that is I agree with that. I think that trying to think of it from a SaaS, like just pay and go, but also have an option where they can reach out to us if they have questions or stuff like that. I think even like a live chat or something I think would be good. And obviously, yeah, like a DM I guess would work. I'm just trying to not I feel like the issue when you get wider like that and you have people coming in from all angles is that now you have to make sure that your CRM is like super tight too. Because if somebody reaches out to me on Instagram, I want to make sure that we know about them and that they're interested. So we got to have that funnel into the CRM, which I'll show you because we haven't even gotten into SureDash. Or I'm gonna keep doing that. This SureDash thing. This is bad. It's not SureDash. This is not SureDash. This is SweetDash. Been around for much longer. One day we'll talk about SureDash, but this is SweetDash. SweetDash. Zishan, what's up? If I said that correctly, very important. Yeah, I don't know what we're talking about specifically there because I am lost in the chat here 20 minutes ago, but I appreciate that. Yeah, fast fail, 100%. Joe, good to see you. Thank you for being here. What I missed is Mark wants design. I mean, yeah, if you want feedback and stuff like that, for sure, you can do whatever you want. Sam, sorry I missed a part of the stream. What payment form are you embedding the site with an iframe? So this is from down here. This was from SweetDash. We didn't fully get into that yet. I will do that. But it's Stripe is integrated with SweetDash, and then with SweetDash you do a lot of shit in the back. I like the colors, but test for accessibility. I think some parts will fail color contrast. Yeah, that is definitely something to look into. Again, Sean and my partners, they're designers, and by design I don't necessarily mean web design. They're creative designers, so I have to. They would laugh at this. We were going through this. You guys will laugh at this and cry at the same time. We're going through this website, and Sean's like, "We need to make everything smaller," and I'm like, "Oh Jesus, please, don't get the accessibility police on my ass, Sean, please." But yeah, so I feel you. Yeah, we gotta make sure that that's tip top on this part. Why did you choose a 1-column layout for the plans? Why not 3 columns? I think because we were looking at frames, and Sean and I kind of just liked this one. But I do think that there would be another thing for there'd be another good way to do it, like kind of like across like a standard 3 thing. Yeah, no real rhyme or reason. Just that was the frame that we were looking at. If you're doing payments yourself, how are you handling PCI compliance? I don't know. Haven't figured that out yet, Joe. It's a good question. I'm gonna star that one. I mean, well, you guys tell me. I mean, if you guys know more than me, the way that I'm thinking is, again, we haven't navigated this yet. I feel like I can make it kosher, but I don't know about all the PCI compliance stuff. So there may be some big problems with this that I haven't looked at yet. The idea would be that the money comes in through all the websites through one like Stripe account. Let's just say Stripe. So it comes in through all these websites. It comes in through Stripe, and that is like a Stripe account for the business. So let's just use a number. Let's say the business registers like $100,000, but let's say the average, let's just use one number just to be easy. Okay, so 20% of that $100,000, like all of those stores generate $100,000 that are on this. 20% of that needs owed out to the people. Like obviously individually, like whatever they made, individually. So 20% is 2,000, or I'm sorry, 20,000 of that needs to go out to those people. I'm not sure if we can pay them as like 1099s or how we're going to forward that, to be honest. We have not hit that. We have not even like come close to the idea of like actually paying out any significant amounts of money whatsoever. So I don't know exactly how we're going to handle that, but that's a good point. I'm going to have to look into that. We use WHMCS for web hosting client portal. I think it's the most advanced web hosting software compatible with WordPress. Interesting. I'm going to make a note of that as well. WHMCS. Where am I going to write that? Right here. WHMCS. Okay. Funny enough, I'm wearing a Bermuda tourist souvenir t-shirt that has two colors too. That's interesting. This website was made for you. Why not build your own new client portal? I'm not kidding. I mean, I thought of doing that, but I'm not going to do the amount of work that I put into this so far. Is vastly for the amount of stuff that we have going on here that you haven't seen just yet, because I've been talking about that outside part first. Is if it would have taken me 6 lifetimes to build all of it in WordPress, so that's why I haven't built it yet. $99 a month is business suit. Yeah, I mean, dude, it is new, and $99 a month is extremely inexpensive. Yeah. I think we're doing too much for $99, but it's brand new, so we'll see. Post a link of your clothing site. It's not a clothing site necessarily. Oh, well, actually, here, I didn't give you this whole thing yet. So I'm also not sure. So if I had to give you a stack, this is kind of the stack. So this is kind of like this nice, like Printful on steroids type shit. Okay, it's like a drop shipping thing. You can go in here; it's free. You just gotta do this or sell other people on it or whatever. So Tap Stitch is like the Printful type deal. Okay, so like you can kind of see like the level of shit that we're dealing with here. And this is a newer business too. So I mean, we could do a risk analysis on all this sort of shit, but they seem pretty dope so far, and it has worked. Like proof of concept, like these people are getting their shit, like it's quality and everything like that. So Tap Stitch is like the Printful, right? So that's like the manufacturer and fulfillment, all that sort of stuff. Then we have this like WordPress, basically just the WordPress for the landing page and a couple other things here. Then we have Sweet Dash, which I haven't showed you yet because this is obnoxious, like the amount of stuff here that is going on. That was the admin dashboard, but this is the actual product. There we go. Okay, we'll come back to that in a second. What's up, Toby? Thank you for being here, man. Appreciate you. So if you integrate with Stripe, they actually have a modal pop-up on the site, so then you're not required to be PCI compliant. Interesting. I'm gonna have to check that out because the customer's information actually doesn't go to your site. It goes through Stripe. Oh, okay. Oh, is that what we're talking about? Okay. We're not doing the payments ourselves. I probably fucking missaid that. We're not building a payment processor. We're not doing any of that. What we are doing is we're capturing currently, again, I'm bound to change this and make this more compliant if I need to. We're currently using Sweet Dash, which has a Stripe integration, to get their subscription payments. And we're using Square, either currently Square, but probably end up being Stripe potentially, to capture the charges on those Squarespace sites or maybe WordPress websites one day, like the actual e-commerce store, right? So I think to that point we're all good. The part that I'm actually not sure of, and I'm not sure what this is like. Imagine you have a bunch of stores and they make $100,000 in 2 weeks, and those are other people's stores. And now your model has to pay out the appropriate percentage to the appropriate people based on how much money they make. Now that's kind of slightly a logistical nightmare, but imagine you have to do that. I don't know if you have to do something particular to get that money to them, or if you could just literally fucking like basically PayPal them, for lack of a better thought process right now, like a Zelle, a PayPal, a wire transfer. As long as I think as long as we keep accurate data of all that, I think we're gonna be good. But we are literally paying people. I feel like it's similar to how an affiliate program would work, but it's just a different set of circumstances. Um, I'm not 100% sure. I kind of think that that's kind of what it is. I don't know. But I'm not right now. Like the concept, the working concept is again like a PayPal payout or a even like a Zelle payout or something like something that just makes sure that they get the amount of money that they're supposed to receive. Again, for easy numbers, let's say that you make this that let's say that this period, which again most of these are biweekly payouts. Let's say during this period you made $20,000, or let's say just $10,000. You're on the standard plan. You're entitled to 20% of that revenue. Real simple. 10,000 revenue, you get $2,000. So now again, I think you're probably saying, because I think a big objection that we have there is like, why am I only getting 20%? Well, we're doing all the fucking work. There is cost to do this stuff, like actually make this stuff, fulfill it, and all that sort of stuff. And honestly, from everything that I've seen from this type of engagement where they really don't have to do anything, they don't have to stand anything up, they don't have to pay for the website, they don't have to pay for the design, like they're just paying like the monthly fee or whatever. From everything that I've seen, that's actually relatively standard. So I don't know. I don't know the numbers there. I don't know if we're going to get extreme pushback on that, but that's kind of where we go. And obviously the rest of it is overhead costs and profit for us. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see what that's like. Kai says, "Congratulations, thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, congratulations on just building the stuff so far. We haven't really made like a ton of money or anything yet, so I will keep you updated. But I appreciate that. Ticker is moving too quickly. Is that this ticker here? Oh, this. Not sure. Oh, this one. This one is fast. If that's what we're talking about. And the link of our site. Okay, yeah. So like TapStitch. This one is our like landing page. And then if you, what's the best way to do this here? I kind of want to show you guys two things here. I want to show you the admin of SweetDash, and then I also want to try to go through and actually do something, like actually do it. I actually want to buy one. We kind of have a test thing going on, so I want to try that. So yeah, let's see if we can do that. Appreciate that, Kai. Thank you. Plaid's APIs and ACH and real-time payments where you can pay B2B basically super simple. Oh, interesting. I'm gonna have to look that up. Joe, you're dropping great knowledge here on the payment stuff. I appreciate you, dog. We just closed our eyes for 2 minutes and now you have a new product. You're doing good stuff. I mean, it's, I told myself, Toby, I was like, at the end, the extreme couple weeks ago, I was like, I need to just like collaborate more, and I'm like open to opportunities. And then Sean brought this one to me and it was a pretty decent idea, so I'm like, I'm at least gonna learn a lot from this experience. And again, as I said earlier, I'm learning about the teamwork stuff, I'm learning about like actually building stuff, putting things together. And it's amazing what you can do when you actually have like a goal and then you just start leveraging like the technology or whatever. Again, I'm gonna dive into SweetDash now because I know you guys are waiting for this. It's fucking nuts. I mean, it's unbelievable. I can't even describe it, so I just have to show it to you. Dan said, sorry, I just joined. Can you please quickly explain your SaaS product? It's basically, if you just go to this right here, it kind of explains the offer basically, Dan. But it's basically this right here. It's in the clothing industry. It's kind of like drop shipping. It's not, I say drop shipping and that has like a terrible terminology. It is print on demand like drop shipping, but we're basically, we have people that are coming to us, artists, stuff like that. They're going to pay a monthly fee. They're going to get a percentage of the revenue in addition in exchange for that, depending on the plan they're on. They might be submitting us designs. We're definitely going to create a website for them, and we're already kind of doing this. We're creating like a templated e-commerce website for them that they're going to be able to sell their stuff on, promote it, and everything like that. Depending on what plan they are, they're going to get a mix of either design services or product mock-up services, and then we're going to basically manage the website, manage all the fulfillment and the shipping and all that sort of stuff, and they just pay a monthly fee and they collect a percentage of the revenue. It's basically the elevator pitch. Different plans. This is very new. It's a month old, maybe 2 months if you stretch out like the real pilot program that I wasn't like fully a part of. And I'm doing this with some partners that had the idea, and I feel like I brought like the technical some level of technical know-how and to do this. And we just did some stuff. So supports SEPA direct deposit and Ideal through Stripe. I am not 100% sure. Yeah, I haven't looked in their documentation about that, but I will definitely take a look. I think it's what did I see in there? I saw PayPal can't be used for subscriptions. There's Stripe. There's two Stripes. There's the regular Stripe, and then there's Stripe ACH. So maybe. I'm not 100% sure. I gotta think about it. This is a little thing that Sean made just to motivate us to go make some money. It's just on our admin dashboard. You won't actually see this. What you're seeing is Sweet Dash, okay? And I want to make some clarifications. Damn, I've been talking too much. What I want to show you is the admin dashboard first, and then I'll show you the other dashboard. And this isn't perfect. I've been working on it with the guys for a few days, but we're just now in like the phase where we're going to start testing it with some people. So yeah, this is the admin dashboard of SureDash. You can already notice that it is not, or fuck, I keep saying SureDash. It's Sweet Dash. Fuck. It is not, you can already see that it doesn't have Sweet Dash in it. Like this is one of the white labeling features up here at the top. Is it's portal.chimera.mx. This is not a WordPress website. This is not a Squarespace website. This is a Sweet Dash instance that you're able to mask and do a lot of cool stuff with. I'm not sure without logging in the best way. If you guys go to this right now, you'll see the login screen. I could probably pull up real quickly, like just to kind of show you. I don't know, just like here. Let me share this different real quick. I don't know if I think you're gonna be able to see this. Very simple login. Okay, it's nothing crazy. But again, this is portal.chimera.mx is the Sweet Dash portal. Okay, it is it's the thing that fucking is gonna power most of this stuff if it continues to work great. So I just want to give you that context. Go over here, reshare. Okay, cool. So don't worry about this. This is just a dashboard, but you can have an admin dashboard. We don't have a reason to do that yet, so it's just a random funny picture telling us to go make money. Okay. So obviously you're going to see some things. Chimera is the brand. It's the logo here. Like you can change all these different things out, all this sort of stuff. Look at all the shit on the side panel of this. Okay. There's calendar, CRM, projects, marketing, content, files, forms, onboarding, messaging, billing, automation, support, LMS. Somebody that like is, used to WordPress, used to SaaS products, you're just like, holy shit. They weren't lying when they said there's a ton of shit going on in this thing. And they're absolutely right. Now, imagine a few days ago when I knew nothing about this and we just got the trial and then eventually we leveled up to literally the best plan, $99 a month, which is nuts again. Imagine how much stuff I've had to learn to try to get this thing to work, okay? Didn't know anything. They have really, really good support though. They have like VIP, I should be getting paid to say this, but they have VIP things, like VIP trainings, like Zoom calls that you can just pop in. Like they're so frequent. They're like every day. And you go in and you can ask whatever questions you want to people that really know this platform, and you can go and do your thing. So I'm going to try to explain most of the admin stuff. If you guys have specific admin stuff, ask, because I'm probably not going to get to everything. And then I'm going to try towards, in a couple minutes here, probably like, I don't know, 15 minutes or whatever. I'm going to try to actually do one because I have not tested. I think the guys might be testing right now some of the flows that we've already created for like people like actually signing up as if it were, like a straight SaaS there from that WordPress lander that you just saw. So I don't know. We'll see what goes on here. The calendar, haven't really touched too much yet. The CRM is, as you would expect a CRM to be, it's pretty solid so far. It's got like contacts, companies. You can put custom fields in there. You can do circles, which are kind of like groups in a way. You can have events, deals, all that sort of stuff. Again, you can probably get the vibe as soon as I go into one of these things. Like, what's an example? Maybe this one? Like projects here. You can kind of get the vibe that it doesn't look... Well, obviously the teal thing, like there's shit that you can change, right? Like the teal thing and all that sort of stuff. There's things that you can change, but you can't change everything. And when you're dealing with a SaaS, like I said earlier, this is a SaaS, right? Like this is like a full, like they built this thing. So when you're dealing with that, you have to like just appreciate what you're getting and not be too picky, and then just go to the devs and be like, hey, like there's something weird here, something whatever. I will tell you guys directly. I'll give you one example specifically now that we're in this SweetDash platform. When you go into like files on your phone, specifically there's like buttons, right, to upload files. And I brought this up in a call yesterday to like the actual, support people. I'm like, hey, these buttons are pretty small. Like if you guys saw these buttons on your phone, you would be pissed. I know you would, because you're like, this is not accessible. Like, and I agree with you. And I'm like, I told them this is kind of pretty fucking small, dude. And the guy's like, it's just kind of what they are, So I mean, so that's like the slightest bit concerning, but at the same time, I feel like that probably wasn't the right time to bring that up. We probably should bring that up to the actual dev team. That was just kind of like support. But my point is that like those are the things that you're probably going to look at platform like this, and you really have to look at the platform with kind of like rose-colored glasses if you're not going to build the thing yourself. That is a big thing that I would say to you, because you're using this, ideally, if you're building something like this, you're probably using this to get to the next step, get to the idea of maybe building your own thing, for instance, right? So we have like, for instance, here we have projects, and like you can tell the UI here is not like incredible. It doesn't look clean and crispy like, I think we can actually change like this text, because I did see fonts and stuff you could be changed. So we could do some things like that, but like there is a lot of custom CSS that you can do. You can do custom pages and things, but these core pages of like projects, CRM and stuff, we can't do a lot there because it's just how it is. But it's really good though as far as like what you can do. So like with a project, I'm not doing a full tutorial on this fucking thing. I would love to be compensated to do this, because I would love to do it, but there's just too much shit to go over here. Again, if you guys have specific questions, I will definitely answer them. But I didn't even put SweetDash in the title of this video. So this is what I would say though, is like you can just see this and you're like, this is unbelievable. If you guys are like me, we're in WordPress all the time. We're in like, settings panels and shit like that for different stuff. Like just look. I know my face is in the way here. Maybe I'll shoot myself down here for a second. Yeah. It's like, just look at the UI so far. It is, I'm not saying it's great UI. I'm saying that the level of the product is, in my opinion, impressive. Like there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot, you can tell just by looking at it that there's a lot of tooling at your disposal, right? Like there's custom URL login. We talked about that. You can change all of the menu shit over here. You can hide stuff. You can change names. No extra. There's no plugin fucking repository for any of this. Okay. And again, the trade-offs. I don't think this is open source. Okay. So, I'm not saying like build everything in here instead of WordPress. But I'm just saying there's a lot of stuff in here. There's translations. You can translate so many of the different like terms and stuff to, I guess maybe translate it to a different language if you want, but you can just translate it to, like different terms if you don't like something, if it doesn't fit your business. So there's all that sort of stuff. It's kind of nuts. There's marketing. Didn't even touch this yet. I think there's literally email marketing baked into here that I'm not even going to go deeply into. There's content, which is kind of interesting because this part is where you guys would be very interested in. You got to think of it like this. You're really building a website, right? In a lot of ways, you're building a platform, but you're building a website within it. We'll see this on the front end here in a second when I go and try one. But for instance, like, look at this, huh? You're building a page that's in your client portal. Damn, this looks similar to like a Gutenberg experience, like with these block things, right? Definitely not as. I know we have differing opinions on Gutenberg everywhere, but like, it's definitely not as impressive as that. But it's still, it does the job for what we're trying to do here. Like, you can like come in here and make these different buttons and stuff, and then it's just basically just text editors and shit that you can embed stuff in. But then you come up to something like, so I'll just give you a quick preview of like what this thing looks like. Like these, I don't know what the background's doing, but these things here, these buttons are like styled. Like there's custom CSS thrown in here. Okay. Probably like CSS that we got out of Claude. It's down here behind my face that you can't see. Let me go to, right here. But like, you kind of get the idea. Like there's a lot of different shit that these people can do, and like that you can play around with. There's a lot of stuff that's commented out there because we were playing around with some stuff. But again, it gives you a lot of customization, and then it also does give you the opportunity to kind of go the next mile with like some custom CSS here and there and those types of things. So Yeah, kind of crazy. There's a whole file storage system. Um, I mean, it's kind of wild. This is like basically Google Drive effectively. I think they give you 2 terabytes with your account. So depending on what you're storing in here, like you have 2 terabytes with the top tier, and then you can add more if you need more for your stuff. Ours is probably going to be mostly pictures and stuff, so I don't think it's going to be huge. But yeah, so they have all these different things. Forms forms are pretty incredible. I mean, it's not WS form level, but it also doesn't necessarily have to be in some ways, because this is just there's like different types of forms. Does it say it here? Maybe. No, I think it's over here. There's different types of forms, and then you can do different things. Like if I click create a form right here, so there's like kickoff forms, checkout forms, update forms, support ticket, general, and then subscriber. So this is, I want to come back to this because maybe I'll just fly through the rest of these real quick. But there's a checkout form, and the checkout form is what I use to create this little embed thing down here that doesn't look fantastic. But the point is that when we're doing this client portal, nothing is done in WordPress other than the marketing right now. So when you come through this and you actually sign up for this, this is pushing your information via Sweet Dash and the integration with Stripe. It's putting your card into Stripe. It's adding you as a person, like a user in Sweet Dash. It's automatically sending you an email to start your thing. You're going into it. We have some onboarding stuff that Sweet Dash has that you can do. You can customize and do all that sort of stuff. Then you come out on the other side when you log into Sweet Dash, and you're just in there. You're really in the portal. They don't even know it's Sweet Dash. You know what I mean? Well, actually, I think right now the email might be getting sent from a Sweet Dash email or something. But my point is, like, you can white label the hell out of this thing, and it's all kind of crazy. So that's done with just the sign up checkout form. There's some other forms that we have for other things that we're doing here. The thing is with the admin view, like, you can impersonate people, like you can impersonate and like switch to like users and stuff. But I'm just gonna try to do one because why not? And then the onboarding. I mean, the onboarding is pretty sick because I don't understand why. I mean, I'm sure there is a way we could do this like in WordPress, but like, I don't know. Onboarding is a hot topic. You can have onboarding for your new clients, or just at any time. You could have almost like an onboarding thing that they could run through. But just real quick, here's some examples of like the thing that we have right now. Again, style wise, we haven't like really touched most of this, but like, welcome to the client portal. Then, and they have to go through this. I'm hoping when I log in through here, if I've set everything up right, they're gonna have to go through this. They're gonna have to tell them about their brand. They're gonna have to do brand asset uploads. They're gonna go through all this. They're not gonna be able to enter it before they do that type of stuff. I think it's gonna be kind of pretty cool. Also, I did see something in here where I wanted to go back to our forms real quick and delete one of those questions, just because I think it's kind of like a duplicate, because they're already going to give us their brand name, for instance, on the other thing. One thing that like I did have a consideration about, and you're kind of seeing it right now, is like, is this thing going to ever slow down? We talked to them, and they said like the concurrent user thing is never an issue. They've had like thousands of people on ones, and they never really see a slowdown. I do think that at certain times of the day, I think they're probably like either updating something or some shit, because occasionally I will get like a little bit of a slowdown with what I've seen. But again, I think you're probably gonna have to deal with that. You'd have more control if you're in like WordPress, but you're gonna have to deal with that regardless of whatever platform you're on, unless their stack is unbelievably good. Let me just show you a form real quick. This one's brand details. This is like an update form, so you're basically updating the things in their stuff. I'm gonna delete that, and I'm gonna say save. Oh shit, no, I had to put that in there. That makes sense. Okay, well, never mind. I'll figure that out later. That was a form it was a form that is imported into our onboarding flow, and in order to like add shit to like a certain field, you had to like add in order to add like background info into the company object, basically, for that person, you had to set the company thing. Okay, so I remember why I had to do that now. That's not ideal, but it is what it is. That's the trade-offs that I'm talking about there. So onboarding, you have checklists and shit like that. You have whole messages, like you've like a whole messaging inbox of like DMs basically, and then you have a support tab, which is like a whole support ticketing system. I'm not going to go in there. I know the guys have been playing around with that. I don't know what they have in there, so I'm just going to leave that be. But yeah, support and messaging, and then there's billing. So there's my billing, and let's just it's actually probably not going to work. Let's go to invoices. That's a custom one that I set up. That's mainly for the front end user, or the user, not the admin. Let me do invoices. So just as an example here, you can kind of get like somewhat of a vibe and somewhat of a look here. So just look at all this shit, man. Like, look at all these drop downs. Like, it is kind of overwhelming, but it's cool. You have all this options, like proposals, estimates, generators for projects and proposals and shit like that. Like, so the way that we did this was we went into plans. This is kind of how you have to set this stuff up, and then I'll go show you on the front end. Okay, so we have plans right now, right? So plans, and then when somebody has a plan, it's an active subscription. It's kind of weird, but it is what it is. So you set up a plan. So our plan is like, we have a few different plans, right? Ignore this $1 a month one here, but like we'd have what you saw on the front end: starter, standard, enterprise. You have our prices and everything set, and then we have you have a subscription. And originally the way we were doing this was weird. Like, it was like a form, and then it would basically generate an invoice, and then they'd have to pay before they got access to the portal. So it was weird the first time. If you're going to use this platform, use a checkout form rather than like a sign up, like general form or something, because I had to think about that at first, and I was like, how do I do that? And then we got on a call with the guy, and he's like, yeah, just use a checkout form. And that's what you're seeing now. So they can pay before they even get the email to get into the portal. The old way was that they would sign up via like that thing. They would get an email, and then they'd be in the portal, but they wouldn't be able to access anything until they paid their invoice to start their subscription. Just weird, not normal. And this is a better approach. So we have these plans here. When you do it, you get a subscription or whatever. Our gateways are, again, like I said, just Stripe for right now. I need to look into, it's just card. Maybe one day we could do ACH as well. I'm interested. I don't think we're going to be able to pay out anything. These guys, however, I just thought of an idea. These guys are working on an affiliate program. I'm wondering if we could just treat the people as affiliates one day, and just give them like 15% of all sales on their site, or 20% of all sales on their site. I don't know. It's just a random thought that I had, just to try to streamline some of the shit, because like, I don't know, that would be kind of interesting. But that's neither here nor there right now. Definitely not minimum viable product. There have been 45,000 things that the guys have brought up and that I have thought of that are just not important right now. Like, when you're doing something like this big, like, this level of fucking shit flying around, you have to keep your shit as concise as possible, and just work on the things that are actually going to get you to the phase of like, can we make money from this? Is this viable? Proof of concept type shit. That's really important. Okay, so you have these subscriptions and these plans, and then what you have to do is you have to, if you're going to do the checkout form thing, which we can kind of go back to, and then I'll run through it, is you have to basically create a plan, and then you have to create, there's actually another step. There's a lot of fucking steps here. Okay, so on this form, on this checkout form, before you have to create the plan for the subscription, and it's literally a subscription. Basically, you can think of it as a subscription to your thing, but in our case, technically, it's a subscription to the portal. If they don't have access to the portal, they're not on the thing. You know what I mean? That was the big thing at the beginning, was Sean's getting text messages from people. This is extremely unscalable. We need something for this. So it's like, they're subscribing to this portal that isn't the actual SaaS. It's a SaaS that we're using. But if they're not in the portal, they're not in the game, so to speak. They're not on the product. They don't have the product. This is the thing. So if we go to, for instance, down to plans, yes, no. No, it's actually not content. I think it's office here. So there's stuff all over the place. You got to get used to it if you want to use this thing. So there's packages. So you create a plan that is a subscription thing that anybody could use, or you could sign up at any time or whatever. Then in order to use these checkout forms, you have to come over, losing my voice, you have to come over to the settings on your office settings, your billing settings is whatever, and you have to create packages. So let's just kind of look at one real quick. You come in here and you say like, okay, this is effectively now a subscription plan package. You say which subscription plan you want it to be a part of, and you connect the actual plan to this, and then you kind of just go through that. So now that they have this package, which now that I'm thinking about it, there's automation shit like all over this thing, and I'm trying to remember invoices paid, estimated. I'm trying to think of where to put the automation. I put the automation on the subscription, like when they have the subscription, which I think I put it in the right spot. When they have the subscription, some other things happen to add them to like a group, so then we could like show different things depending on, what plan they're on essentially, which is just right here. You can kind of see this. So like for this subscription, like currently this is just set at $1 for testing and stuff like that. Down here we add them to some circles. So we created a circle called like starter clients or standard clients. So we add them to that's the appropriate circle. And then if they're out of it, we remove them from the circles. So yeah, so that's the concept. There's just automation everywhere. I can touch on that a little bit. But my point is that this is the checkout form, right? And in the checkout form, you have to say which things you're gonna like actually they're gonna have options to do, which is this a checkout form? Sign up checkout form? Yeah, like configure the checkout options right here. So like starter, standard, enterprise, and those didn't come from the plans. Those came from the packages, which is a different type of data that you've set up. That could be I don't know, it could be a couple different things or whatever, and then they're able to select that. So when you go back to the front, you can see all that type of stuff. Yeah. So there's just a lot of shit here. I don't know what else to say. Let me see. Let me get rid of this Twitch chat there. And let me come down to... So Sam said we cannot switch pricing plan in the iframe at always. So that's some bullshit. That's a Sweet Dash problem. I will show you in a second. If I go like this and I come down, and because I want to try this now. If we come back here, yeah, this is very dumb. I hope they change this. You literally have to unselect, because we made it so you can only select one, obviously, and just the way that the UI works in these checkout forms, like you cannot select and it won't like automatically unselect. So you literally have to like unselect and then you have to click like this. Not ideal whatsoever. Also, like there's some text issues, obviously, but yeah. So that's one of those things. This is from them, and I can't do anything about that. Yeah, it's unfortunate. So, but I appreciate you bringing that up, Sam. And then similar to Zoho One, it looks like, but Zoho is bigger than this, I think. Zoho CRM Plus. Oh, interesting. I've heard of Zoho, never tried it though. Is this self-hosted or hosted on their servers? This is not. We're not hosting any of this. This is totally like a SaaS. So it might be the right approach. Like I said, I know some people that use it. I've learned a lot with this, but we'll see if it ends up being the key. I don't know. All right. Well, I'm interested in what this flow looks like. We did a lot of stuff earlier this morning too, to kind of see what was going on. So let's see if we can actually do one. What do you say? Let's do one live and see what all the problems are, because I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of problems. All right, so let's scroll down. Let's say, oh, this seems great. Let's do it. I'm gonna do the standard for our testing for one thing. I'm gonna use my actual shit, I guess, my actual name, and then me at marksamansky.co. And then I'm not putting in a real phone number here. I'm gonna say 555-123-1234. And then I'm going to put in brand name. I'm just going to say Samansky Media. Okay. So if you were a person going through this, you selected your package. Obviously, it wouldn't be $1, but you selected your package. You put in your stuff. We have this information. I might change the primary phone to like just phone or whatever. But that the guys are really into like texting. So like not actually texting, but like they want to have like, text notifications and shit. I don't know what to say about that. Like I kind of like am on the fence. Like there's going to be like a website. There's going to be kind of like a web app type thing you can have on your phone. I think you can enable notifications for that. You will get emails, but a lot of people don't fucking, they let their inbox get to 32,000 fucking emails. So I don't know. I don't want to be texted all the time, but we have a Twilio integrate. This thing has Twilio integrations and shit. So I'm not sure. So we'll see. Let's go, next on this, and let's see. I'm gonna go here real quick and enter in some shit, and let me see off stream, because I don't want you guys stealing my shit. Let's see here. Let me see. And So I know you can't see this, but you can save your like thing because it's I don't really like to save your checkout thing with Stripe, but whatever, the link thing, but it is what it is. By providing your card information, it's just saying like it's gonna put it on file for us. Okay, cool. I'm just testing it just to see if it works, but yeah. Okay, cool. And then it just gives you that round up there and everything like that. Okay, yeah. So I'm just gonna press start your subscription, and once this shit's out of here, I'm gonna bring you guys back into the fold while we're doing this. The selection UX is not normal. Yeah, I don't. I hope they fix that. Okay. So next, thanks for signing up. Now again, there's a million fucking things that we're gonna need to do here. So and like a million pieces of the puzzle that like we need to customize. So thanks for signing up. This, if you guys are wondering, is just it has an option. The forms of those things when they're embedded have an option to like redirect to a page. They have like a little thing that pops up, but they have a redirect page thing like most forms have. I just made another thank you page over on the WordPress website because that's the easiest way to do shit. And I just said thanks for signing up and check your email. So let me pull up on my different browser here because it's a different thing. Let's see what we got here. Okay, cool. Yeah, all right. So I think we can go here. Let me replace this screen sharing with this one. So this is, again, currently, I'm pretty sure we can change all this sort of shit, but this is what we're currently at right here. So welcome to Chimera, click the link. I know we can change all this sort of stuff. This is what I was talking about. This is not going to stay like this. Hopefully, I'm pretty sure we can send from different email addresses. I'm almost certain it has, not just default sending, but sending from, what's it called? All the different things. This is standard. I'm sure we can change all that. And yeah. Okay, so I'm going to copy this link. I'm actually going to go back over to the other one, I think. Let me go right here, I guess. Okay, cool. So I'm just going to act like this was in here. So again, UI or the flow, so to speak, is you signed up, you immediately got an email, you click the link. Now we're in here. Okay, so this is the user invitation type situation. So your name, whatever, password, stuff like that. I'm gonna go like this real quick. So I'm just gonna use a fucking suggested password, and then it has this little like nice job thing that goes in. I wonder where these. Oh shit! I wonder if you can change your terms and privacy policy because I'm definitely gonna want to change those. I wonder if you can change the links to this because right now they're just like on sweet dashes. Okay, but something like this, and then you save password and log in. And now again, you're a client here, okay? So this is what you start to see. I'm gonna move my face. I think the guys have been changing some shit because it didn't look like this before. There's just like, it's just black now. It was something different earlier. But this is where you come. Now, this is, maybe we could zoom in a little bit. This is, yeah, they definitely fucking changed a couple things because that was not a home button before. But yeah, that didn't need to be a home button. But all right. So here's the thing. This is now Sweet Dash from the user side as we have customized it. You can see, first thing you see is the custom menus, way different. Like this is way less shit on the user side, and it's all customizable. Like I went in, and as you would think of, like, for like the WordPress admin as an example, you got to download like some sort of plugin or do some weird shit, to hide it with CSS or whatever. It actually hides it, and it hides the functionality when you turn it off from the menu, which is really cool because a lot of times I don't like to just hide the thing because like someone could somehow get back into there. It actually turns it off when it's not on the thing from what I can tell. So that's fantastic. This right here in the middle is a custom page that I showed you a little earlier with that little block editor thing that you can do at least reasonably whatever stuff. They do have some templates. I might go back and show you the templates because you guys might be interested in seeing what you could do if you actually layered in more time and some custom CSS with something like this on this piece. And then, yeah, so this is kind of what they got so far. They can visit their store, which, interesting enough, didn't work. Okay, That's good to know. Also didn't get the fucking onboarding. Why didn't I get the onboarding? Did I need to turn the onboarding on? I'm thinking of all the problems that just happened. We didn't get the onboarding. The onboarding exists, but it's not on. There's an automation. There's supposed to be an automation that sends this by default to another thing. So I should make notes of this. This is another page that I just made on the website where automatically this button should go to that URL at first, and then when we go in and we actually set up their website, set up their domain and stuff like that, then we change the custom field to go to their website. So that's one thing. I'm actually gonna write this down. Turn onboarding on. I think the reason that happened is because I didn't finish the onboarding. I'm gonna say check automation for store URL. Okay, we got some problems. This is a good thing we're doing this. Design library goes to the files. We'll talk about that. Design requests, help center, stuff like that. So like if you go to the design library, again, it's kind of just the stuff on the side here. So files, so like they can have files, they can upload shit like that. If we go back to the dashboard, then they can like submit a design request, which we're still feeling this out because the way that this works is like there's projects, and that's probably the best way to do it, where they're going to be able to like submit like what they want to do. And then like what we were talking about earlier with the projects, we come in here and there's projects, there's work requests. There's supposed to be an automated project that comes up here. I think that's because I didn't get to the onboarding. I might actually delete this and try again to try to turn the onboarding back on. Just so I could fix that. And then there's like settings and stuff. And again, we're looking all from the admin side, so it's relatively like straightforward. And then again, they started a subscription. So the subscription is churning when they like right away, like they could go up and they could cancel it. You know, but again, it's all powered through Stripe. Okay. I'm definitely going to at least log out. Yeah, I'm definitely at least going to log out and log back in. This is a problem too that Sean pointed out to me. When you go through the initiation, that makes sense. It doesn't have an email field in that initiation thing, so it doesn't have an email to save. That's really fucking weird. It didn't have an email field, right? No, it didn't. It had first name, last name, display name, fucking time zone, and then put your password in. We got to get them to put the email in that form because it doesn't save. See what I'm saying? It doesn't save that. I could change it, obviously. I could update it in my manager thing, but it doesn't. That's interesting. Also, don't know where this goes. Where does this go? Oh. Just reset your password. That's weird. Okay, anyway, I'm going to go back into the this admin one here. We need a shit counter on the stream. Honestly, we do, because it's just total problems here when I'm either saying sure dash instead of sweet dash or whatever the case is. All right, well, you're going to see me troubleshoot a couple things here live. Real quick, I'll show you these automations because these are pretty cool. It's like kind of like, from what I can tell, you set some automation templates as like things that you could reuse, and then you can utilize them in different areas of the thing. So like starter clients, like add people to these, remove circles, and then you can take these instances of these like template things and use them elsewhere in, you know, like when you create a project or when somebody gets onboarded or something like that. I have to figure out how to start this onboarding though, because I wanna make sure that works. How about we edit the onboarding and see how we actually turn it on? I don't know if it's new client flow. Is it just an automation? No, this is when it's completed. So this is, again, I'm just giving you the idea. Like when this is completed, it's supposed to apply a project generator, which generates a project, like the main project that they're going to have with a task list, depending on what we have to do for them on their plan. And let me go to, is this manage flow, status, submissions? I hope there's just a turn on button. There should be. Because in this case, it's onboarding. It should run for everyone. Let me go back. Also, I will say their documentation, from what I've seen, is pretty fucking good. Like there's a lot. Maybe do you have to? Maybe you have to. Let me go back to automations. Maybe you have to actually automate it to do that, which would be kind of annoying. But so like, look at all these automations here. Like, so template is like start, initiate onboarding. Boom. Okay, maybe not. Manage on-demand flow. No, it's definitely. Did I put the wrong one in here? There's there's on-demand flows. There's on-demand flows, and then there's new. Like if you go back to onboarding here, flows. I thought for sure it was just going to do it because I thought it was like we were on an onboarding one where like onboarding flow for new users and then on-demand flow for existing users. I created an onboarding flow, and that's what this is. How do I get it to work? Let's just say suite dash trigger onboarding. I'm not going to watch a video right now. That's not the manage thing. We're just going to play around with it for a couple minutes here. I thought for sure it was just going to like do it automatically, which I'm kind of annoyed by. I don't know why I didn't get. The only thing I could think of is my email was in there, but then I deleted it. So I'm wondering if it has to be a completely new user, because I can't think of any other way that would happen. Damn. Should I try one more? I really don't want to spend another $1. Just kidding. I'm thinking. I don't have to spend another $1, but I wonder. It'd be good to do it that way. Yeah, I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm not sure. But the idea is that this is like I think I showed you the onboarding thing already. Like they go through the onboarding, they get dumped out at the whatever, and that works. Damn, I really want to figure out why this doesn't work though. Because I think on demand is different. Let's see. Start onboarding. One click automations trigger. Yeah, I'm not sure to be honest. We got to figure out the onboarding though, because that is create a test client, my profile, or is this like actual onboarding? Yeah, I don't know. This is messed up though. They really do need to fix that. There's no thing on there. There's no email on there to save the stuff. Well, that's upsetting because I really thought that was going to work. Because we definitely don't need. It's set up for CRM targets. It's not set up for staff. New client flow. That's the only thing I could think of is the wrong email. And I'm tempted to just do one more just in case, just to see if that's the problem. So I might. Let me see. I don't really want to do this, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it off camera. I'm just going to walk you through what I'm doing. I'm going to go back down to my details. I'm actually going to go all this stuff. Oh shit, let me get it out of this real quick. I'm just going to see if this is the reason. If this is the reason, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to be pretty pissed because I feel like it should work. But yeah, yeah, I don't know. Okay. All right, I'm just going to do one more. I'm going to try this again. I'm going to say Mark Szymanski. Email, got to think of an email. That'll work. And I'm going to think of there, and then I'll say by progress using the old company name, fueled by progress. Let's get some shit. Okay. Okay. Looking at the old security code again so you guys don't steal my shit. So I already forgot it. Okay, don't save that stupid secure one link thing. All right. Okay, I've spent $2 on our own SaaS now. Let's go over here. Let me copy this link. Let me bring it back in here and go like this. And this is a new email address. Okay, so this is a new email address, so it should work. Also, wait a second. One more step. Sorry there, folks. Suggest, great. Oh, it says great now instead of nice job. What the fuck? Okay. Maybe that was a better password. It's interesting. Nope, didn't fucking work. Don't know what's going on. Got to figure out the onboarding. Got to talk to somebody. There's nothing else really I can show you then, because like the onboarding is supposed to do a couple things. It's supposed to do this. That's supposed to get triggered. It's supposed to trigger a project that's just like their main project. So like if it's Szymanski Media, like Szymanski Media project, and then within the project there's supposed to be some tasks that are, that we need to do in order to start. And then they can just add, like, basically add a work request anytime moving forward where it's like, okay, I want, this design, whatever. And then that type of stuff. Probably not here. I don't know. They'll probably do it over on the other form thing, but yeah. So that's pretty much all I got. I mean, if you guys got any questions, we can go through that. If you got any WordPress questions or whatever, I can hang out for a little bit longer. But that's kind of it. That's what we're working on. This Sweet Dash platform is crazy. I'm probably going to continue to, obviously going to continue to dive into it, continue to play around with it, and yeah, we'll see how it continues to work. But yeah, it's client portal related. This is outrageous. The amount of stuff that's going on here. So yeah, but that was a speed run. I don't know. Any other thoughts, things that I was thinking about? I think the idea of having something like this where everything's all in one place is really good. I think trying to make that happen as much as you can, like to consolidate, I think is a really nice idea. Everybody loves the idea of a client portal. This isn't, self-hosted or anything, but it is pretty impressive. And maybe there's something better out there, but haven't found it yet. So we're gonna roll with this and see what happens. I will keep you guys updated on how this goes and what we continue to do here. And I think like I said, I think we're gonna be leveraging WordPress more potentially, because I know I'm not gonna be creating fucking Squarespace websites. If I get access to enterprise, I will definitely let you guys know, because I do think that's pertinent, because it's more on the level of like, oh, what can you do with this at scale? But it's not cheap. Squarespace enterprise is like multiple tens of thousands of dollars per year for like 20, 30 sites or whatever. Like, it's multiple thousands, and we're not there. And I'm not sure if that's like the right investment to make at all. So I'm probably going to potentially talk to some people in the WordPress realm, because I don't want to fuck up the hosting. That's my biggest thing. Like, I think I could build websites, or we could build like templated sites like that are like, kind of like plug and play, so to speak. I'm pretty sure we could build that with like a multi-site approach, or even like some other approach that's not multi-site. But the idea of running those websites and making sure the whole apparatus doesn't go down at any point, that's the important thing. Like, I trust Squarespace with, and maybe not, maybe this isn't appropriate. Like, maybe this isn't the right thing to say, but I think I trust Squarespace more than I do trust myself about what I know about like potentially large concurrencies of people going to the websites and them not going down. I don't know how large it would be, but you know what I mean? Like, just like having that many websites running it like a multi-site or a ton of websites on a server that I have, wherever, versus Squarespace's stuff. I feel like they're in the business of that, and they've probably refined that a lot more than I know how to yet. But I do have a lot of great connections in the WordPress space hosting that could probably run something like that. Just don't know if it makes sense business wise and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I don't know. This has been fun. Hopefully you guys got something out of this. I know this was different. I know the viewership was kind of like lower in a sense because you guys probably didn't see any WordPress shit. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm genuinely kind of concerned about like doing stuff that's outside the WordPress realm, but I'm not gonna let that concern not let me make the content because it's just what I'm doing. If it's not WordPress related, I mean, there's all sorts of shit now still going on with WordPress. If it's not WordPress related, I'm not just gonna not talk about it. I have to because it's what I do. If you guys like that, awesome. If you don't, I apologize. But yeah, more stuff to come. Let me know specifically what you want to, because I'm always down to talk about the stuff that you guys want to see. And yeah, so I think I'm done here. I am probably gonna go work on this more with the guys because we need to see if this is viable. So I appreciate all of your insights and feedback on everything we talked about here. If you have any more, just hit me up, and I will talk to you in the next video, which hopefully I'll be putting some more videos out here soon. I have some lined up. And then if not, you will see me here every Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern. Yeah.